I'm Ted Berg, and this is the Baseball Show presented by Caesars Atlantic City. At the halfway point in the season, it's time to take a look at where the Mets stand in 2011 and what lies ahead for the second half. Calling into the studio is Peter Gammons from the MLB Network. Peter, thanks for doing this.
Thanks a lot, Ted.
Peter, have the Mets been more successful than most people expected this season?
No question. I think that people are so conditioned to hearing about how bad their farm system was and the fact that they've had so many injuries. People kind of wrote them off, especially being in a division with what the team is clearly the best team in baseball in the first half, the Phillies. But I think the Mets, a lot of guys have proven to be a lot better than a lot of people thought. I mean, John Neese has certainly emerged, but the Capilano signing was a great signing. And Sandy Alderson deserves a lot of credit for that. And I think that some of their young players have grown up a little bit. I think, we're starting to find a home for Murphy. And so it's become increasingly an interesting team. A great team? No. But at least they have the foundation to move forward and decide what way they're going to go with Reyes and with Beltran. Hope that, with the signs of this last week that Jason Bay is going back to being what he is, which is a very reliable player with great power. So I think a lot has been positive for them. I really do.
But the good start or the decent start sort of puts them in a tough spot because now they approach the trade deadline and they're not really out of it. I think a lot of people expected, a massive fire sale and they're in a situation where they can't exactly go and sell off all their pieces and build for the future because they're still on the fringes of contention.
They are, and putting people in Citi Field is important. There's no getting around it. This is not a team that's automatically going to be selling out games if all of a sudden they lose 10 in a row. So it's something they have to think about. I never thought there was a chance that they would trade Reyes during the season. I think there's still a chance that they would move Rodriguez and or Beltran. I think either one of them makes some sense to trade. But if Beltran is playing great on August 29th, he's still hard to trade because he's such a good player. You know he's not coming back, but if you don't get that would still be about $7 million that a team would have to take on. No team took on more than $5 million last year. So Beltran would be more than anybody took on last year. If you have to take on $6 or $7 million, are you going to get three really good prospects in return? Chances are you probably won't. So that's a very tough call. So I think Rodriguez has probably got a better chance of bringing a better reward just because there's so many teams that need relief pitchers, starting with the Texas Rangers, who, to me, are in jeopardy of not making the playoffs the way they're going because of their bullpen.
So you think the Mets will be able to move Rodriguez even considering that vesting option?
Yeah, I do. I really believe that. He's not the overpowering power pitcher that he was 4 or 5 years ago, but he's got the great changeup. He's got a lot of guile, and I think you put him on a contending team, I think he'll pitch really well.
And what type of return do you think the Mets could expect for a guy like that?
I think let's just say they're dealing with Texas, I think they got a couple of young arms. I really do, and I think it's entirely possible now. I don't think Texas has a lot in terms of position players, but I think they can get a couple of guys that just keep building. Harvey's going to be ready in another year, so they've got quite a bit of young pitchers now.
Peter, thanks so much.
Okay, Ted, thank you.
Peter will be part of MLB Network's All-Star Game coverage next week, which will be live on the field before the Home Run Derby and the All-Star Game. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.